According to the ancient system of dialogue and understanding through question and discussing on the question, it's not as if I am providing a ready-made answer. It is, however ready-made I may have an answer for some things at least. What I am trying to do is to make you think and to figure out for yourself what it is. So sometimes if you immediately find an answer which is very obvious and therefore repeated many times by many people until it becomes a style, I would probably oppose it if such a concept. It may not be because the answer is wrong or right, or the question is wrong or right, because I want you to think and not put your mind in cold storage. Not to simply accept what somebody is saying, including me. See, basically the idea is to go into oneself. Because if one doesn't go into oneself, one cannot find out the different layers of one's own mind, which operates and generally creates all our problems. So unless we find out, for that finding out, nobody can give you a ready-made formula. I cannot say you're like this and you don't have to believe it. How you are, you only know. You have to find out. So what we are trying to provide is a way of looking at it yourself and finding out for yourself. Otherwise, in general, what happens is we don't look at ourselves, and all our lives we tend to blame somebody else for anything that happens, because we are not either prepared or ready or have the guts to open ourselves up and take a look. Because we are afraid we might be opening a Pandora's box. But unless and until it is opened and the elves are allowed to get out, it is not possible for us to go deep into this. What the Upanishads are trying to find is the self, the true self. And the most important thing when you say to find yourself, the Upanishads are not trying to tell you that the self is this, therefore you believe it. They are saying find out for yourself, and this finding out for yourself is the process of going deeper and deeper into your own layers of consciousness. Instead of saying, people usually say self-realization means you realize that the self is the blissful Atman, supreme being. See, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, I'm only saying that basically right now, at the level at which most of us are, this is only an imagination. It's only what is written in books. If you really say what is myself, you'll see that it is quite a putrefied, stagnant water which is staying there. There is no blissful Atman or nothing inside. I mean, normally, you can imagine that I am not this. Now, this is also an excuse of the mind which tries to disidentify itself from the rubbish that is inside. This rubbish is not mine, I am not this, I am something else. That I am something else comes only after we clear this rubbish. Not by saying that I am not this but I am that. So this is, therefore sometimes in this process there is a lot of churning happening. And you know that when you churn, just like the ancient churning of the Samudra Manthan, the first thing that comes out usually when you churn is poison. If you are allowed to remain, then you know nothing will happen. But if you churn, the first thing that comes out is the hala hala visha, the poison. Unfortunately, there is no Shiva around to eat it. So, this poison has to come out. It's only after the poison comes out that Amrit comes out. In the first churning, the Amrit will never come out. So, even if the poison comes out, it's necessary to churn. So that churning is the process of looking within. Which looking within does not again mean sitting for 6 hours every day, closing your eyes and looking within. That won't work because mostly you'll fall asleep. Or your mind will wander in various factors and go around and come back. Churning means to watch your mind, be watchful of your interactions in everyday life with those who are near you or away from you. That's when you really realize what we are. For instance, you can fool everybody outside the world. You cannot fool your wife because she knows exactly what you are. At least to some extent. Now, so why? Because she interacts with you. So that interaction is very important. Without interaction, you cannot discover yourself.